Good day, everyone. How you're doing? Okay, so today we have a class, and the class is going to be on blood group. All right, so please help ignore any form of background noises, and then I'll be checking through my note to be sure I'm giving you the right information. I'm not an expert. All right, so let's go right to it. So generally, we have about 4 blood group, which is further divided into 8. Okay, but the 4 blood group that we have the A, we have the B, we have the AB, and the O blood group. Okay, all right. So now we also have the rhesus factor, and this rhesus factor is the one that helps to determine either the blood is positive or negative. We'll be talking about that later. All right, so to know the compatibility of a blood, there has to be a blood test done. Okay, because if you're going to be a recipient or a donor, it is important you have a blood test done so as to avoid any form of blood transfusion reaction. All right, so what is blood itself? So blood is actually the red substances that passes through our veins. Okay, the red substances that passes through our veins, and then in our blood we have plasma, and this plasma is further divided into, we have cells, okay, which are white blood cells, red blood cells, and then platelets. What does white blood cell do? It helps protect the body against infection. Then the red blood cell is the one that helps to transmit oxygen all over the body, also transmits nutrients all over the body. Then it also helps with elimination of carbon dioxide through the lungs then out of the body system. So what does the platelet do? Platelet actually helps with clotting of the blood. All right, so if that has been said, then we can go into talking about the red blood cell, which is the red blood cell is the main thing we are talking about here if we are talking about blood type. All right, so on our red blood cell we have antigen and antibodies. Okay, so antigen is a form of protein that is found on the red blood cell. All right, and then antibody is the one that helps in fighting invaders from the body, if that's English is correct. All right, so to know what blood can donate to the other, we have to understand what antigen and antibody does or what it means. All right, so your red blood cell actually determines the kind of antigen that you're going to carry on your blood type. All right, so for example, a blood type of A will be carrying an antigen of A. A blood type of B will be carrying an antigen of B, that is B antigen. A blood type of AB will be carrying an antigen of AB, A and B antigen. And a blood type of O doesn't have any antigen, okay, on it. Hence why it is called a universal donor. Doesn't have any antigen on it. All right, so antibody actually protects the body against invaders. So if you have an antigen of A, your antibody will be against A so that it can help fight. So by the time your body notices that there's something coming that is different from blood type A or blood group A, it's definitely going to start fighting. So antibody is generally the opposite of antigen. So if you have, for example, if you have an antigen of B, what will be your antibody? A. If you have an antigen of A, what will be your antibody? B. If you have an antigen of AB, what will be your antibody? None, because AB has both A and B antigen, so there won't be any form of antibody against it. Hence why AB is actually a universal recipient, is a universal receiver, while I said blood group O is a universal donor. Okay, is that clear? All right, so now let's go to who can donate to who. That is talking about a recipient and a donor. All right, so if you have a blood type of A, like I said, a blood type of A, we have antigen of what? A. Then it will have an antibody of what? B. All right, so what will be the recipient of a blood type A? So differentiating between recipient and donor. Recipients are people you can receive from, and donor are people you can give. Do you understand? All right, so for blood group A, who are your recipients? You can have same A as a recipient. You can receive from blood group A itself, and also you can receive from blood group O, because blood group O doesn't have any form of antigen. That's why it is a universal donor. So for a blood group A, it can receive from both A and then blood group O. All right, so now who can you donate to as a blood group A? A blood group A can donate to, of course, A and then a universal recipient, which is A and B, because they have both. They do not have any form of antibodies that is fighting any form of invader, so they can actually be a donor. They can receive from you, I mean. So AB is a universal recipient, so a blood group A can donate to both A and then AB. All right, so now let's go to blood group B. Blood group B, it has B antigen, then it has A antibody, like I mentioned. So who are the recipients for blood group B? Of course, B and then O as a universal donor. Then who can blood group B donate to? So the donor for blood group B will be B, of course, and then the universal recipient, which is AB. All right, then talking about blood group AB. Blood group AB has antigen of A and B, and they also do not have any form of antibody. So who can they receive from? Of course, everybody. Blood group A, B can receive from both A, B, and blood group O, which is a universal donor. But who can they donate to? They can only donate to themselves, which is AB. All right, so now let's go to blood group O, which I said is a universal donor. So blood group O definitely doesn't have any form of antigen, but they have antibodies of A and B, hence why they can't receive from anyone except themselves. So recipients O, just O, they can only receive from themselves. But how about being a donor? They can donate to everyone. All right, so since we're already clear on donor and recipient, let's go straight to talking about rhesus factor. So rhesus factor is a protein that is found on the red blood cell. So if a red blood cell carries a rhesus factor, that is rhesus positive, and if it doesn't, then it is rhesus negative. So hence why the blood then is being broken down into 8 blood group, like I said. So we can either have A positive, A negative, B positive, B negative, O positive, O negative, AB positive, AB negative. Do you understand? Okay, so and this also has to do with matching of blood together. During blood transfusion, you either have to consider the blood type and also consider the rhesus factor. Do you get it? So now, if we have a patient that has a blood group of A, and you know that for a recipient, that is, who can you receive from? A blood group A can receive from either A itself and O. So for example, now if we have a patient with A positive, who can they receive from? They can receive from both A positive and A negative, O positive and O negative. But if a blood group has A negative, they can only receive from any negative blood, which can either be A negative or O negative. Do you get it? If any other blood is given to them, there's going to be what is called agglutination. Okay, there's going to be incompatibility of blood, and this agglutination is a form of clumping of blood together. That is, the blood will clump together, which can actually lead to death or some other form of defect. Do you get what I'm saying? Or problem in the blood. Now, this rhesus factor is very important in pregnancy. Okay, so I went to get some water. So I was saying that if the rhesus factor of a mother is different from that of the child, this can cause a permanent disability for the child. It can cause stillbirth, can cause brain damage, and also lead to death for the child. So the immune reaction of a mother starts developing when pregnancy starts, and then it doesn't complete until after pregnancy. Hence why the first pregnancy is being spared from rhesus disease. All right, but then a memory must have been created from the antibody that helps recognize any form of the next invader, that is the next pregnancy. So it is important for the mother to get a Rogam short maternity injection to help protect the next child against the rhesus disease. Okay, it's more like saying that like I said antibody fights invaders. So if there is a contradiction or incompatibility in the blood group, in the rhesus factor of the mother and the child, then the child is seen as an invader. So the antibody will start fighting the child, which is not supposed to be. So that's why the Rogam short maternity injection is important for pregnant women who have contradictory blood group with that of the fetus. All right, so that would be the end of our class today. All right, so if you have any question, you can send me a DM, or if you have any form of contribution, I'm open to learning more. All right, so see you guys in the next class. Bye.